All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. I don't know how that affects us here in Aruba, but anyways, for sure, he would see his shadow because it's a beautiful day out here today. All right, so today, this is edition 7 of our coffee break. And last week we talked and I showed you a little bit about sales funnels and why they're important. And today I'm going to break them down and go into a little bit more detail about exactly what goes into creating that sales funnel and why it's important. And I'll give you some additional information. And I think it might even be where next week we go into even a deeper dive. I don't have any visuals for today, so I'm just going to explain exactly what each of these items are. And we're going to also take a very simplified, like I did last week, we'll take a very simplified sales funnel. One that really starts and has 5 different components. All right, the sections are first a lead magnet. The second is a landing page. The third is a thank you page. The fourth is a sales page, if done correctly. And the last is a follow-up funnel. All right, we'll go into break down each one of those. So what is a lead magnet? Well, just as the name describes, you're using this magnet to attract your ideal customer, right? So you're giving away something free in exchange for someone's email address or contact information. But email is the primary thing. And as long as I've been around, I don't know if you've ever heard the term money is in the list. Well, they're usually referring to an email list. And why is that? Because you can communicate with people that have shown interest in who you are or what your products and services are provided. So you would create a lead magnet that, again, would attract your ideal customer and provide them value. That's really what's key here. It's not so much about just giving something away for free so you can get an email address, but it's something of value because, again, being able to attract your ideal customer needs to be someone that you know who your ideal customer is. And that's a whole nother discussion when we talk about avatar and your ideal customer. But I'm going to make the assumption that you already know who you're targeting, right? All right. So again, by building value with your customers, when they receive value from us for free, they're more likely to seek out more information about us and also more likely to trust us enough to perhaps buy from us. All right. So once they've said, hey, lead magnet, this looks great, something I can use, what happens next? Well, they're taken to what's called a landing page, or it used to be called a squeeze page, but a landing page sounds nicer, I guess. But it's simply a web page where you exchange your lead magnet for someone's email address. This is where they fill in a form, put first name, email address, and you're able to provide them, the information that they need to know what it is exactly you're giving them for free. All right. After they've given you that information and they've hit submit, they are taken to a thank you page. Now, I'm not going to basically say what is a thank you page because obviously the name is to say thank you, but it's really more than that. You've basically said, I will give you this if you give me that, right? So in exchange, they've said, okay, I believe you. I trust you. They fill in the form and they're taken to a thank you page. So it's not just about thanking them at that point, but it's actually following through, right? And building that trust comes from you actually doing what you say you're going to do, right? So this is where you start the building of the trust process with your prospective customer because you've said, I will give you this. So now on the thank you page is where they've done their part. Now you're going to fulfill your promise to them. By doing that, it really sort of helps solidify or start the process of them beginning to trust you. So at that point, you can give them the option of going to a sales page. Now, we wouldn't call it a sales page there, but we would say something like, hey, now that you've received this 25-point checklist on how to set up the best Facebook ad, would you like to see how we do it in the system we use, right? And that's very intriguing. Again, so you're step by step taking them through the process that you want them to take. Once they've clicked, they'll take into a sales page, right? Because now they've received value from you and they're more likely to do business. So this is the best time to offer them something because you've already captured their attention. You've got them starting to trust you, right? You've fulfilled your promise. So now you're going to take them to a page that's going to take them into a little bit more details about what it is your offer is, whether it's a specific product or service that you believe can help fulfill whatever it is that brought them to you in the first place. All right. Also, offering your product and service now also helps you recoup your ad costs quickly, right? So you've spent money to drive traffic and get people to come to your lead magnet and your landing page. Now let's try to recoup some of that. So it doesn't mean that you have to sell like $1 million or $500,000 or $1,000 product. It's just something that could help you to recoup your ad costs, but at the same time start building your customer list, which is really the end goal for us. And I'll explain why that is in a moment. The last section of this is what's called a follow-up funnel. Now, I believe this is actually probably the most important aspect of this, right? So what is that? Well, basically, it's a predetermined system that helps you communicate with your list and build the relationship with them ongoing. Because you've started the process, you've got that little bit of trust started, you've showed them that you can fulfill your promise and provide them value, and perhaps they've even purchased with you. But even if they haven't purchased with you, you still have their email address. So that means now you have the ability to start them on maybe a nurture sequence, which might be like, okay, they didn't buy on the sales page, but you might want to, give them value. Every 3 or 4 emails you provide value. And in that 5th one, you might ask for another offer to have them check out another offer from you. By not doing anything at all, and I'm gonna take you through real quick and give you some marketing math, right, to kind of help you understand why it's important to create your email list. All right. So if you do this poorly, and let's just say you've got them, you gave them a great lead magnet, you've got them on your email list, but you don't do anything else. You don't, establish yourself. You don't communicate with them. You don't build your relationship with them, but they remain on your list. And this is industry statistics. You can average about $1 per month per name on your email list, right? So I'm giving you this information because it's kind of easy then to sort of determine what your possibilities are moving forward in the future by building this email list and why it's so important. But the statistics also show that if you do a really good job and you do it well by building a strong relationship, you're communicating often, you're providing additional value, you can expect to make much higher than $1 per email on your list per month, right? So imagine if this month in February, you decided to do what we've been talking about. You built a great lead magnet. You've targeted the right people. You've got people in and they've said yes to you. They've purchased or they've not purchased. It doesn't matter. If you, let's say, bring in 217 people this month, that's $217 on average per month that you could assume to make if you were to continue to try to sell them your products and services. But imagine now if you are actually doing a really good job of building that relationship, you're communicating, you are providing value, which I believe is really the most important part of building any relationship, is showing that you have value to give. Instead of just hammering, I want to sell, I want to sell, I want to sell you, I want your money, you're going to lose people off your list pretty quick. And the goal here is not to, you're building up your list. You don't want people to join, get the lead magnet, and then run away. You want to try to help build that relationship up. So the goal here is to continue that so that as you do start to sell, you can expect to make much more than $1. I've seen the industry averages everywhere from $2 to $5 to even $10 per month per email on your list. So if you've got 200 this month, imagine what if you did it next month and you added another 300. Now you're up to 500. And if you were to continue doing this process every single month, imagine what it would be at the end of the year and what your 2023 might look like. So that's pretty much the meat of the sandwich for today. I wanted to try to help you understand why it's important to have a sales funnel. I think our company does a pretty good job of putting those sales funnels together for you, both in creativeness, but also to help you understand who that avatar is, who your perfect or ideal customer is, what exactly they might need from you that you can give away for free to create that lead magnet, but then to automate all of the systems behind it so that not only can you get them through your funnel, but at the same time also automate the follow-up funnel, which I believe is really the most important part of all of this. So if I don't have any questions for today, I think what we'll do next week is we will probably dive one more level into sales funnels. I know I mentioned this last week, but I felt like before I could dive into talking about upsells and downsells and bump offers and some more technical terms for sales funnels and lead funnels, I thought it might be important to actually break this down so that you can have a better understanding of why it's so important, right? We're not doing this just because, we don't want you to just think that it's, one piece of information that you can need. There's value in here, right? There's a reason for you, for your business to want to have sales funnels for the various types of products and services you own. So, all right, I don't see any questions. So I will bid adieu until next week. Thanks very much for your time. Enjoy your coffee. I hope you had it because I had mine. All right. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you.